Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. It says the ad is still running, but I don't know why that would be. So, I think we're just gonna get started because I clicked that button for the ad to run. Basically the second I started the stream, so over 10 minutes ago. So I don't know. If you guys are seeing ads, I'm very sorry. Try not to do anything exciting in these first couple of minutes. Yeah, give a shout if you're seeing ads. I know you can't hear me if you're seeing ads, but that's what Amarian said in chat. Oh. Guys, I'm a bit worried. So, I found a browser-based program for learning Python. And it's cool because you can say like, oh, I'm really interested in understanding like data analysis or programming or whatever. So I said I was down to learn anything, which was a mistake. Because one of the like beginning courses that it tried to give me, I didn't understand any of the maths that they were talking about at all. I was like, I need to know what the base level of like math you would need is to understand like data things. But they do have a course that's called The Very First Steps, and it's literally like beginner Python code. So that's what we're going to try to do today, or at least start poking around with. Look at this little man. That's all. That's a child. that's all having a kid in my house. We can do this, Dodger. Thank you, Tolosi. We're capable and smart. Yeah. My sister and I have a goof that we do. We've done it since Clark was really little because everybody would constantly be like, "Oh my gosh, she is just so beautiful." And I was talking with my sister about how, you know, like the classic thing where I'm like, of course I think she's beautiful, but I don't want that to be the only thing that people ever say to her, right? So he started, anytime somebody says like, oh, Clark is so cute, oh, she's so beautiful, we both go, and smart. So it just made me think of that, Lucy. We're capable and smart and beautiful. Enjoy your coding adventure. Thank you. Why are we learning to code? Because I want to. It's simple. Simple answers sometimes. The program also asked me that. And they gave me a little quiz to try and figure out if I know anything yet. Because I was like, yeah, I've done a little coding before when I was 18 years old. I was like, yeah, of course, I've done a little bit. And it was like, cool, we're going to give you some questions to see if you understand any of this shit. And it showed me like 4 different chunks of code and was like, what's the output of this? And every single one of them, I was like, this? I clicked a button with nothing in my heart saying, yep, that's definitely the right answer. So when it was assessing my abilities, it might have been like, we'll start her really, really low level. But yeah, it should be fun. I'll add that to the title, actually. People keep saying that Python is like a really accessible coding language. So I'm excited to just try it because I really enjoyed when I was a wee bab, when I was knee high to a duck in high school. I did enjoy trying to like put shit together and make it work, so. Later sleeping, nothing like it, baby. Absolutely. That's how I feel too. I'm not look, if the system's like we're going to start you from zero, that honestly that's totally fine because it's a nightmare to get thrown into a thing and be like, "Wait, there's obviously a base of knowledge that I need first." Which is why when it was like, "Do you want to try some data analysis stuff?" And I was like, "Sure." What did it say? Hold on. Actually, I'm going to open it up. Yeah, data types is what it's called. Data types in Python is so the beginning of data types in Python, which is listed as a beginner lesson, okay? Starts you right off the bat with numerical data types. You should get acquainted with numeric data types. And then it has you try to match numbers with what data type they are. And I was like, I'm sure I could learn it. I just feel like I needed like some there's a foundation that I don't have yet, That is the foundation, but I don't know what it means. Again, I'm sure I can learn. It says numeric data types generally consist of 3 built-in types: int, float, and complex. Built-in means that Python can initially work with them, and we don't need to predefine them. You just write int, float, or complex. Like, okay. That's great that Python can do that for itself. But I don't know what those things mean. This is what I'm talking about. Examples of floating point numbers are pi value and the Euler number. I'm going to dig a hole. I'm sure I can learn it. I just don't want to do that right now. Floats have decimals and ints don't. Why the fuck didn't it say that? Int is a whole number and float is a number with a decimal. God bless you all for being here. That seems like a terrible way to explain it. It is. It's a high-rated lesson, though. Okay, I could do that then. So, yeah, we can either look. They're both considered to be like beginner basic baby lessons. So, we can either do numerical data types and all be learning something. Those of you who are at the same level of math jargon knowledge that I'm at. Or we can start learning like baby code, which I'm, to be honest, more interested in. But I'm sure I would get a lot out of numerical data types, so I'm fine with either. We can expect a weather of high backseating in chat. How would you like chat to behave while you're learning? Thank you for asking that. I am totally fine with help. I think, just kind of sort of along the same lines of when we're playing a game and I say, yeah, help as much as you want. Just like, don't be a dick about it, I'm using a website called Codefinity. But there's tons of lessons out there. Yeah, I did pay for it. Backseating it is. Go for it. Just don't be a dick. You know, it's. I'm a baby. I'm learning. Again, I did a little bit of coding when I was like 18, 17, 18, which was nearly 20 years ago. So a lot of it has flown the coop, you know? That's a big ask for the coding community. I have faith. I think that y'all will be able to be like, is what I'm about to say a bitchy thing about this person's intelligence, or is it actually helpful? I have faith that you guys can parse which is which. W3 Schools is free and good for referencing and explanations with examples for me. Nice. W3 is great for fundamentals. There you go. I just started using W3 Schools. It's taught me a lot in one day. That's awesome. A lot of people saying W3 Schools is the way to go. So there you go. Well, I paid for a few days of Codefinity just to see if I liked it or not, because it came highly rated. So that's what I'm going to use. But it's good that so many of you guys are recommending a free one as well. We learning Python? Everyone in chat is going to have opinions on tabs versus spaces and other stylistic choices. That's fine. Yeah. So if any of you guys haven't been here for a study hall before, it's basically Streamy McStreamerson. I will work on a thing. Today I've chosen that I want to work on learning Python. And I invite all of you to work on a thing that you would like to work on. If you want to just hang and chat, that's great. If you want to work on school stuff, if you want to do a craft project, if you also want to learn Python, it's just meant to be like a big community work study hall thing. Make sure to comment your code with stuff like #this shit just works. I don't know why. I will contain the backseating, but I wish you all the fun. Again, feel free to help. I have every right to ignore you. Because sometimes, and again, this also applies to video games. This is why sometimes I ignore help in video games. If I don't understand why, if you're just saying the solution and I don't understand why that's the solution, that's not helpful to me, right? So sometimes you guys might help and it might feel like I'm ignoring it. It's probably because I'm trying to figure out why that's the answer, right? Or like what I would need to do in order to get it. My first and last helpful bit of advice is this. If something looks right but doesn't work, 9 out of 10 times it's because something isn't indented correctly. Source is several of my ripped out hairs. Thank you very much for your service. I will keep that in mind. I worked on a code base before where previous dev left a comment that said #fuck this. I leave lots of profane comments. This is reminding me of I talked about this TikTok before. I wonder if I could find it, but it's a get ready with me to code video, and it's this woman that works from home, and she does like her whole morning routine, and then like, you know, it's just like, it's like a really nice, chill, peaceful thing. And then she's like, and now I'm going to look at the exact same piece of code for the rest of the day and figure out why it doesn't fucking work. And that's the end of the video. To prevent space trouble, use an IDE, like VS Code. I'm already lost. If you use Notepad or some other raw text editor, it's going to be a mess from personal experience. Okay, I'm doing stuff inside of like a browser-based like teaching program currently, so. Integrated Dev Environment is what IDE stands for. Gotcha. I use the Python idle that comes with Python. I'm new to some of this. I know HTML and CSS. Yeah, I did a lot of HTML in high school and like really basic C stuff. I was going to go really fancy today because I was like, I might be screaming, crying, barfing by the time we're done with this today. I don't know. Or maybe I'll have a blast and it'll be fine. But I was like, I'm going to get a really fancy coffee. I'm going to get a fancy coffee with a bunch of whipped cream on it and all sorts of shit. And then I realized it has to travel to me. And the whipped cream is going to melt into the drink, and it will be a terrible start. So, are they teaching kids to code yet? They should. There are lots of, yes. There are lots of things that are like basic code, like concepts turned into games or books. Clark literally has a book that we got her when she was, you know, not even able to move around called Baby Loves Coding. And it's cute. It's there's a whole series of books called the Baby Loves Science books. We love all of them. But Baby Loves Coding is entirely about a train set. And it explains, like, it tries to, like, really simply explain what an algorithm is. And then explains, like, a programmer, you know, is the one that figures out how to tell machines what to do, and talks about how the train knows to, you know, use its horn, stop, start, pause, all of those things because someone has given it code to tell it to do those things. And it has like a series of steps called an algorithm built inside of it, et cetera, et cetera. And it's all about this baby like playing with its model train. It's very cute. Hi, Summer. There are lots of once they hit around Clark's age, like 5-6 years old, there are sets that you can get that are like here's a little robot, and here are step-by-step instructions on how to teach it or tell it to do different things. So there's also stuff like that, you know, like little kid robotics, little kid programming, little kid whatever, you know, that sort of stuff definitely exists. But depending on how your kid's brain works, it's like, is it accessible to them or not? You don't really know, I guess, unless you like hand it to them, you know, and try to help them like understand it. Not to be toxic, but good luck with the coding. Thank you, Summer. I hope the doctor is sweet to you. Like, oh, Mindstorms is cool. Mindstorms? I've seen that video a million times. Yeah, that's like that's a thing that adults do, right? Is the peanut butter and jelly thing, like write out how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Even adults struggle with that. Bye, Summer. Love you. I know, and I think about that stuff too. Like the sorts of kids that had no base of anything and still figured out how computers work. How I think about my grandpa. I've told you guys before that my grandpa was just like, I want a car, but I can't afford a car, so I'll just build a car, and built a car out of like just pieces, right? Maniac, right? What? But some people are able to just do that. I'm really glad that there's a lot of supportive like STEM stuff out there now. Okay, I'm gonna go grab my coffee in a sec. Another person bringing me a coffee on a motorcycle. These boys are wild. They're like, I'm sure I'll be fine. Horror chair. Hi, Brett. How are you, bud? I had stream muted. It was a very creepy silence. Maybe some spilled coffee? God, I hope so. No, unfortunately, they tape it to high heaven. Only a smidge of dupe spilled out. My checklist of reasons why I need to just start making my own coffee again is getting huge. But you know, when we're back to working from home, it'll be as simple as make coffee in mug. Take mug to office. Mugs in the car terrify me. So I don't want to make a coffee and then take it in the car with me because mugs don't fit in the cup holder, you know? I used to teach code to artists. What a hyper-specific thing. I love that. Mm-hmm. The plan is to have a little thing like in this corner. Of my setup that's just like a little coffee station. So I can just make coffee for myself in my office. A lot of demands for technical artists in video games and VFX. Interesting. I don't know what happened to all of our travel mugs. We had 2 Dr. Coffee ones and 2 that were sent to us from Wizards that had like dice all over them. No clue where any of those are. They're traveling. You know what? It's in the name, isn't it? No! Yeah, actual magic using wizards. It's just muffin. Classic moving issues, for real. What happened? Who knows? Okay. Okay. Are we doing first Python steps, or are we doing data types? Those of you who code, do you think it would be beneficial for me to understand data types before I hop into coding? Data types, they're beneficial. Data types. They're the building blocks. Okay. You need baseline before you can understand data types, IMO. But, like, this is considered, like, the beginner data analysis, like, lesson. Let's take a look at it, shall we? Data types are just math, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I've opened up both. I have both open. Okay, let me get this shit open. Yes, that's exactly what I want. How did you know? It's so crazy. I'm trying to cut off the comment section because it's a bunch of people doing what I did and being like, I don't know what the fuck this is talking. Here we go. Where am I? Oh no, is it above me? Ugh, come here. Come here, goofball. There we go. This is part 1. Okay, so int defines the integer value that you're used to using in regular everyday life. 1, 2, 45, 45, 65, 66. Floating numbers are like pi value, which again is not explained properly. So thank you for telling me. It just means there's a fucking decimal point in it. Thank you. That's very helpful. An example of complex is 5 plus 7j, where 5 is the real part and 7j is the imaginary part. Yes. Okay. So this is the complex number. This is the floating point number. And this is the integer. Submit answer. Yay! Next chapter. Oh, God. Okay. Okay. Hold on. I need to scoot you around. Why are they going into complex numbers? I don't know, dude. Bro, I don't know. I'm just here for the ride. I guess just to tell you, like, all of the different types. I don't know what category to put us in, if I'm being totally honest. I typed out coding, and it's not an option. Software and development. What is it doing? What is it doing? What are you doing? Okay, hold on. Cancel. Software and development. Look at that. Fantastic. Okay. Okay. Mutable or immutable. There are mutable and immutable data types. The first one can be changed after its creation. The second one prohibits us from making a modification. Redefine the variable to give it a value of 150. Okay, defining variable 1 is 40, and then you redefine it as 50. So you just type it out exactly the same, but have it say 150 instead. Oops. Okay. The underscores are the issue? Wait, where did those come from? Okay, cool. Next. Python won't understand this. Why the cry face? These formats are understandable for a person, but not for a computer. You need no commas or spaces. Okay. Rewrite these two distances in an understandable way for the computer. Okay. 9140000. Why? Oh, I see what happened. Oh, that's so annoying. Why is that there? 2388855. Double check if you output. Wait. Oh, shit. The corrected is. Oh. Oh, I have to also replace it here. Okay. Okay. They wanted you to type var1 and var2. Oh, wait. They wanted you to be like that? Does that also work? Okay. Talking about another crucial data type called float. All numbers with a decimal point. We don't need to worry about converting the number to a float using scientific notation because Python has a format method. 9.14 multiplied by 10 raised to the power of 7. Python by default leaves space for 6 digits and replaces them with 0. What? What? Okay, hold on. This doesn't seem very beginner friendly. Why is it taught this way? I have no idea. They're teaching you niche stuff. Should we try this instead? Okay. Let's try this instead. This is the one that I was gonna start with. That's why I said that. That was the beginning course for data analysis. Your task is to print "Hello World" onto the console. Okay. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Hello world. Yay. The larger your code becomes, the more difficult it is to understand its separate pieces, even if you wrote it yourself. To make things easier, learn to leave comments in your code. Like, fuck this. Like you guys taught me. If you place a hash before a print statement, the line will not be executed. Right, which makes sense. How many lines will be printed after executing the following code? 2. Great. Python can calculate math expressions with ease. The syntax is straightforward. Use plus for addition, minus for subtraction, asterisk for multiplication, and a backspace for division. Not backspace, but it's fine. I'm saying it out loud, but we see it, right? This time. Don't forget to use print if you want your result to be displayed. There's no need to use quotation marks as you want to calculate the math expression. So let's calculate some basic math. Calculate the following expressions. Okay. So 2,580 plus 198. And here we want it to say print 23 multiplied by 42. And here we want it to say divided by 27. Run code. Yay! Try seeing what happens if you do put quotation marks. Wouldn't it just say it? Or no, I guess it wouldn't necessarily. Well, yeah, because it would be exactly like what we did with Hello World, right? I'm using Codefinity. The jury's out on whether or not it's good so far. A lot of people have recommended W3 Schools, which apparently used to be kind of iffy, but has gotten a lot better and is free. Codefinity is not free, so I paid for a couple days of this just to like see what it's like. But it's only $1 a day, so you know. Okay. Python offers several more useful math operations. Integer division. And integers are whole numbers. Right? Percentage, the remainder of a division. And exponentiation. Oh my goodness. Okay. Please note, you cannot use the traditional up symbol for exponentiation in Python. It produces a different result. The syntax for these operations is the same as the simplest arithmetic. 8 divided by 4 equals 4, because those are both integers. Since we take the integer part of the division, the division result is 4.5. Okay. So if I do 2 slashes, it'll give me the whole number and not the leftover. It rounds down, right? Okay. 14 percentage sign 5 equals 4. Since we can subtract the number 5 twice, and 4 will be the remainder. The remainder of a division. What? I don't understand what that means. The remainder of a division? I understand that you can subtract 5 from 14 twice and 4 is what's left over, but I don't understand what it means by the remainder of a division. I know that remainder means leftover. I get that. Because 5 goes into 14 twice, and then you have 4 left over. Okay. Four equals 64 as the result of multiplying 4 by itself 3 times. Okay. Okay. In the second line, calculate the integer part of the division of 234 by 32. So it would be 234 and then 2 slashes. Find the remainder of the division. 356. And then the percentage sign. Where are you? 17. Does there need to be space here? Okay. Let's practice. In order to raise to the power, we need to use this. Calculate 0.99 raised to the 365th power, which is I think. Okay. Ask me later. Hello. Replace name with your own name. But still in parentheses, correct? It's just because there's a comma here that we needed new parentheses. Doogie McDougerson. And I'm learning Python. Perform an integer division and raise the result to the power of 4. Okay. Comment in the 1st and 7th lines. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Yay! Okay. Variables in programming are abstract local storage for values. I don't know what the fuck that means. In the previous section, you calculated some math. What if we need some of those numbers in the future? Right. This is like when you guys had me go back and redo that that one in the data thing, right? Where we used I assume it was short for variable 1 and variable 2. Use a particular name for the variable. Use the equality sign for assigning value to a variable. Okay, fill in the blanks to complete the task. Chapter equals 7. Variables are widely used for storing values for future usage. There's some restrictions and specifications for variable names in Python. Variable name can contain letters, numbers, or underscores, cannot start with a number. They're case sensitive. Capital V variable and lowercase v are two different variables. No special characters other than underscores. And you can't use reserved keywords like if, while, for, and try. Things that you use in like actual... Okay, yeah. Choose all of the acceptable names for variables. Can't start with a number. This is fine. This is fine. This is fine. This is fine. Why not this? While! No! It's fine. In the first chapter, you created a variable called chapter. Answer is we can manipulate variables just like we did with the values in the previous section. Imagine you have the price of a certain item. I literally just read it out loud. I respect the attempt. That was sneaky. I agree. It was sneaky, wasn't it? Yeah, chat has really gushed about W3 Schools as a really good beginner site to go to that's free. I'm using Codefinity. I did have to pay for it. And the jury's out on whether or not, because I haven't done W3, so I don't know. I would trust chat if chat's like, just use W3, dude. Don't pay for something. This is just for fun, really. Okay. So this is like what they were saying earlier. That was also in the data one. We definitely needed to do this before the data one. Your ability to mutable and immutable, right? So like this, you can change this. You can literally say it's 50 and then be like, actually, it's 50 times whatever. Add 2 to the chapter variable and reassign it to itself. Is that what they want? Add 2 to the chapter variable and reassign it to itself? Right? So it should say 9. Okay. When they leave extra space, when there's extra space in there that you're not meant to use, I find it so like, why is that there? Why did you put that there, you know? Anyways. And store objects of different types. It's important to differentiate between them in terms of computer memory. Allowed types, text, numeric. Sequence types, mapping types. Set types, Boolean type, Boolean, binary types. We won't dig deep into all these data types. We don't need them for now. Carefully consider each data type in the following chapters. If you have a variable and you want to check its type, use the type function. Don't forget to use the print function so that Python will print the result. What is the type of the variable in the example above? It'll be an integer, so it's a numeric type, right? Nope, that's not an option. Oh, it's a sequence. It's a sequence of numbers. Is it a list? I don't know. I don't know what this is. It's a tuple. I chose list 2. What the fuck is a tuple? What is this? Click the run code button. How do I move on? Get me out of here. Get me out of here. Get me out of here, dude. Please complete the task. I did! I'm refreshing. I think it's a tuple. It's supposed to be something you don't know so that you run the code. I felt like that wasn't clear. Did everybody else feel like that was super obvious? First try. Wow, I know. Oh my gosh. A tuple is stuff that goes together. For example, a coordinated pair. Okay, interesting. It did explain that running the code would provide the answer. I obviously wasn't paying attention. We already learned this in this shit. Okay. Let's focus on the last 2 types. All of you guys who were like, why are they talking about complex numbers already? Fuming. First 2 types, yes. The third is used mainly for scientific purposes. So let's consider an example. We want to calculate how many days are in 792 hours and how many seconds are in an hour. Compute these numbers and get their types. Despite both numbers being integers, we got float type for their division. Right. It is 33.0, but why did it happen? Isn't 33.0 an integer? In math it is, but at Python wanted to play it safe insofar as the division of 2 integers is not necessarily an integer. Okay. If you need to convert a number to another numeric type, use int to convert to an integer, float to convert to a real number, and complex to convert to a complex number. If you convert a real number to an integer, it will remove the decimal part. Okay. Okay. Let's practice. Yeah, let's practice. The distance between San Francisco and New York is 4,677.4 kilometers by road. This value is saved in the variable dist_km. Your task: convert the distance to miles by dividing the distance by 1.609 approximately. Save the result in the variable dist miles. Right, okay. So miles is 4677.4 divided by 1.609. Oh, but wait, no, we want to wait, hold on. We want to use the shit that they gave us. So dist underscore km divided by 1.609. You caught yourself. I did it. I caught it. San Francisco minus New York. Okay, and there's a comma, so I'll need to wait. Yeah, because it's an... Convert it to an integer. So this needs to say int. Output the value of distance miles. But do I need to put it in? It doesn't look like it because there was no... Okay. I'm going to try just doing that. I don't think it needs quotation marks, although I feel like it should have quotation marks. Let's run it. We'll see. Yeah, it worked. Yay! Quotes would make it a string. Oh, I see. Okay. So if I had... Hold on. Just to try it. So if I had... Okay, there we go. If I had done this... It would have just written that out instead of actually like computing it, right? Yes. Okay. Okay, I get it. In the first chapter, you learn how to make Python output the message "Hello Python." This message is called a string. No! We wrote "Hello World." That is not what happened. Anyways, this message is called a string. In Python, strings are used to store text. To store text in Python, you need to enclose it within quotation marks. For example, we can save the word Python within the language variable and then output it. And then it'll just say Python. Okay. Using quotation marks is compulsory. If you don't use them, an error will be raised. Okay, just like for numbers, if you want to convert an object to a string, use str. Assign the course name, Introduction to Python, to the course variable, and then output it. So course equals Introduction to Python. Okay. Use square brackets with an index inside to access a particular string element. Access certain string characters. Right. Oh, the index in Python is always one less than the position. Okay. Okay. I missed that. Okay, so site 1 is the O. And site 9 is Y. Okay. Suppose you're given the string test in the code below. Choose the element that has the index of 6. So it would be the 7th letter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it would be the N. Okay. Last element will have an index of -1. The second to last will have an index of -2. Okay. -1 is the easiest way to access the last element. Okay. But why? What do you mean? Think of it like a shortcut, but to type out -1 takes longer than typing 9. But you might not know the line. So there's, okay, so they should have given me a word that is longer than 9. Is what you're telling me. So -1 will always be the very end of the string, whatever string it is. Okay, got it. Mm-hmm. Can you determine how many elements are in a string? Find out, use len. The len function, passing the string or variable containing the string between parentheses. So, how many elements? Right, okay. Element is just in reference to whatever alphanumeric thing is in the string. Okay. So there's 10 beep bops inside of Codefinity. Length of a string is the number of elements. The length of a string is always one more than the index of the last element. String length is 10. The last element has an index of 9. Right. Why? It's fine. You can also use len string -1. As the index of the last element? What? What is it trying to tell me? Ignore that. It makes more sense later. Okay. Suppose you're given the string test in the code below. Choose the element that has the index of -4. X, right? Okay. It kills me. You start from the left and you have to start with 0, but you start from... But I guess you can't do -0, can you? I was literally talking about this with my kid today. Okay. Now you know how to extract a single element from a string. But what if you need to get multiple elements at once? You can extract these elements one by one, but that's inefficient. Get multiple elements at once. Use slicing. To do this, I was about to make a really stupid joke, and I suppressed it, and I think you should be proud of me. To get multiple elements at once, you can use slicing. To do this, use square brackets with the starting and ending indices? I assume that's multiple index. Indices? Separated by... Yes? Oh, nice! Okay. Separated by a colon. The second index will not be included. For example, if you use 1:5, you will get all the elements with indices 1 to 4. Okay. The last index is 1 greater than the index of the last element. Okay. Code Nitty. Why you? Okay. Oh, right. Because it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Okay. I was supposed to be like, shouldn't it be COD? No. Okay. And then the first number is inclusive, so it's nitty, right? Okay. Okay. You're given the string Python stored within the language variable. You need to extract the following substrings using slicing though and on. For your convenience, the indices for this string are shown below. Thank you. I need though 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 to 5. Why are you going there? Okay, though and on. Four to 6. Okay. Why is it like that? You're given the string. This is string for learning, assigned to the variable test underscore str. It just occurred to me that str stands for string. Can I get a show of hands, anybody who kept in your mind just saying strength? Because you play too much fucking D&D and str just means strength in your brain. And I was like, I know that's not what it means, but that's what I'm calling it. A strong programmer. Okay, anyways. String is what it means, guys. You're given the string. This is string for learning, assigned to the variable test string. Select and display the first character of the string in the first print function. The first symbol of the string Uh-oh. I forgot. Is it this? Yeah. Right? So this, but then just the one number. Okay. I was right. Thank you, system, for giving me a little clue down there. So the first symbol of the string is 0. The last symbol of the string, I'm not going to count because we're going to do what we were taught, right? -1. Extract the word string using slicing. Do spaces count? Do I need to be counting spaces as part of... Spaces are also characters. Thank you. Okay, so it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yay! Okay. Cool. Ask me later. What the fuck is this? It's gonna tell me. Concatenation? Connects two strings into one. To concatenate. You pronounced it correctly? God, I'm just so good at words. Yeah, the joining of two cats. Exactly. Cat, cat. Cat, cat. Cat, 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 cat. To concatenate two... That was fun for me. Two strings in Python. Use the plus operator, similar to number addition. You can connect words with an article. The Netherlands. Article plus country. Okay. Because if you just say article plus country, you need to give it the quotation marks, because otherwise it won't consider it text that needs to be viewed. Okay. You can't concatenate word and one. Convert number into a string by using string one and perform a concatenation. What will the following code return after execution? Hello Python with an exclamation mark, I think. Nope. Oh, 'cause language first. Fuck you, system. Okay. God damn it. They tricked me. Bamboodles. Okay. Welcome to the third section. We're going to learn about another data type, Boolean, also known as logical. It can only take two values, true or false. This data type is used when we need to check a logical condition. Okay, these are the logical operators you use for comparison. Equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Okay. When you use these operators, you will receive the output as a Boolean value. True if the condition holds, or false. For example, let's check some expressions. 1 is equal to 1, which should say true. ABC is equal to ABC, but we know that capitalization matters, so that's false. And then, sure, math. And then some math stuff. How do you interpret the results above? The first true refers to the equality of 1 and 1. The second false means the strings ABC and ABC are different due to the different forms of the letter B. And the last one means that 87 times 731 is not greater than or equal to 98 times 712. Use appropriate operators to check the following statements. Okay. Less than or equal to. Not equal to. Is the number of symbols in the string Python equal to 6? Print the respective results. Uh-oh. Hold on. Okay, but so we just do that? Okay. It's simpler than I thought it was. Okay. So much of my college Python tests were what will Python return with this code? In Boolean algebra, there are two common operators, or and. What do they do? Or checks if at least one condition holds and returns true in that case, otherwise it returns false. Operator and checks if all the conditions hold and returns true in that case, otherwise it returns false. To combine conditions in Python, use and or operators in lowercase. Condition 1 and 2 will return true only if both conditions expressed are true. Condition 1 or condition 2 will return true if at least one of the conditions and expressions is true. Right. Let's check the following conditions. If 2 is greater than 1 and if BBB doesn't equal to AAA. If the symbol with an index of 2 in the string, my string, equals Y or S. Right, okay. Okay, I understand what it's saying. How do we interpret these results? First returns true, since 2 is greater than 1 and BBB is not equal to AAA. The second returns false, since the element with an index of 2 is not Y or S. If you need to negate a certain Boolean value, use the not operator. 1 equals 1 will return false, since 1 equals 1 is true, and we negate it to false. Oh, it's saying there's another operator called not, but it's not having us use that yet. Okay, what will be the result of executing the code below? Um, 0 is not greater than 10. So that'll be false. And then, so it'll be false, false. Or, wait, or false, true. Almost dug a hole again. You've been given a variable t with a certain string assigned to it. Check if the following conditions hold. The number of characters in this string is less than 15. The number of the letter n in the string is greater than 2. Given a numerical value A, you need to check if either of the following conditions hold. A is greater than this shit. The remainder of the division of A by 14 is less than 7. Okay. Don't get overwhelmed. It's just, we've done the building blocks. We'll figure it out. Characters in this string is less than 15. Okay, len t. So t being the string. So we say less than 15. And t count. The number of the letter n in the string is greater than 2. Okay. Okay. A equals 89. A is greater than 9475 divided by 37, or A, the remainder of the division. Oh my God. My brain's working! I was like, no, that was so many chapters ago. But we remembered it. We're good, we're good, we're good. Okay. So far, we've considered the main comparison operators that are mostly used for working with numbers and strings. Python also provides membership operators that can be used to check whether a certain sequence is present in an object. Sequence objects in Python. Strings, lists, tuples, and so on. The operators are in and not in. You'll get true after using in if the sequence is found in some object. We are interested to know if there is the letter N in the string codefinity. Okay. It'll say true. Right, okay. Such a letter was found in the cite object. The not in operator works in absolutely the opposite way. It checks if a certain sequence is not present. Sometimes we may need to check if a certain object belongs to a specific type. We may write a program that divides input value by 2. We must ensure that the value is numerical, otherwise it's impossible. There are 2 ways to check if a value belongs to a specific type. Type variable is an integer. Will return true only if the value is an integer number. Second way is to use isInstance. This function takes 2 arguments. The first argument is the value, whose type you want to check. Second argument is the type you want to compare the value with. IsInstance variable integer will return true only if the value in the variable is an integer number. I didn't follow that super well, but that's okay. Check if 3.5 is an integer. Number is 3.5. Print if the number is an integer. Print. Okay, so these are 2 separate ways to do the same thing. That's what it's telling me here. Okay, I see. So it's going to say false, false, right? Okay. 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 This means we can now divide our code into pieces depending on the condition. In Python, it's implemented as follows. If condition, do this if a condition is true. Else, do this if a condition is not true. This is the sort of stuff I remember doing. If then, if else, that sort of shit. Condition in the example above is either a conditional statement or a Boolean value. If A is not equal to 4, or if B is greater than 100. The do statements below if and else are just commands that should be executed whether condition holds or not. Let's consider an example. Imagine you have a string and want to check if it's wide. Let's call a string wide if it has more than 20 symbols. Test small string. If so, what does len short for? Because len is like all of it, right? Length. Okay. Okay, so if the full length of test is greater than 20, print, this string is wide. What a wide boy. Otherwise, print nothing special. This string is very, very, and very large. So if the length is greater than 20, the string is wide, nothing special. Right. Code blocks are written below if else statements need to be indented. Right. Not looking forward to checking my indentations, but it's okay. Remember the following if else block will be printed after code execution if A equals 95 and if A equals 56. If A is greater than 60, print passed. Okay, so this if A is 95 and this if A is 56. So A is greater than 60, so passed and then failed. Okay. Imagine you own a small grocery store and your expenses are $2,000 a day. If your revenue per day is less than $2,000, you suffer losses. Otherwise, you're making money. So let's try to write an if-else statement for that. Write a conditional statement that checks if the variable revenue is less than $2,000. Okay. So down here is going to be, so it's if, okay, hold on. I'm going to take a crack at this, okay? If revenue is greater than or equal to, right? But I don't know how to write greater than or equal to. Is it just the greater than sign and then the equal sign? No, look at the comment. Write a conditional statement that checks if the variable revenue is less than 2,000. Okay. Okay. Revenue is less than 2,000. Then print the message, we suffer losses. Print we suffer losses. Else print everything is okay. Okay. I'm given the number num. Using if else, print the message. I wish I could make my own messages, but I know that that makes it impossible for it to check if I'm right or not. She's gaming. I'm certainly doing something. Get off there, goofball. Goofball? Get off of there, goofball. You're given num. The number num is odd if num is odd. The number num is even if num is even. Replace parts within the print functions with the respective text, odd or even. Number is even if the remainder of its division by 2 is 0. Right. This is just making me think of my kid. I don't remember what we were doing this morning, but she stopped everything she was doing. She was like, Mommy, did you know that if you add 2 odd numbers together, they become even? And I was like, I did know that. Why do you know that? Okay. All right. Okay, so it's if num no. If if num %2 equals 0, then the number num is even. Otherwise it's odd. Nope. But you only use 2 equals if you know that they're integers. Right? Oh, no? Oh, okay. Has nothing to do with type. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Name error. Do I need to put this in? Do I need to be doing that? Check your print statements. The error shows which line has the issue. This one. Right? Why does it need to be separate? Can I just do that? Okay. Okay. Cheating? There should, in the actual phrase, there shouldn't be a comma there. Okay. In the previous example, you might have noticed we didn't consider the case when revenue is exactly 2,000. In that case, we suffer no losses, but at the same time, we have no profit. Therefore, there should be a way to modify our code to predict such things. If you want to check another condition after you've already checked one, use elif. It looks as follows. Is that literally else if? Piece of code after the last else will be executed only if all the conditions above don't hold. Our last example with string length. Modify it a bit and call a string large if it has more than 20 symbols, medium if more than 10, and small otherwise. Okay. Medium string. If the length of medium string is greater than 20, print string, medium string, is large. Else if length of medium string is greater than 10, print string is medium. And if neither of those are true, then say it's small. Okay. Medium string is medium. Small is small. Okay. You can have as many as you need. Nesting elif blocks is not the most optimal way to write code. How dare you? I learned Python with chat guiding me like it was bumper pool. I salute you. Chat's been really good, I think. I feel like y'all have been very just letting me cook until I obviously need help, you know. You're giving if, else block below. What will be printed after the code execution if B equals 150 and if B equals 25? Greater than or equal to 100, but not greater than 200. So quite expensive. Quite expensive and then cheap, right? Yeah. Modify the code you wrote for the previous challenge about the small grocery store. So the store's revenue is exactly 2,000. The message, we are breaking even, is printed instead of everything's okay. You should include this new behavior within an elif statement. Else if revenue is equal to 2,000, shush alarm, print, we are breaking even. Two equals, fuck. I'm not looking at chat. I'm not looking at chat. I'm not looking at chat. Okay. I figured it out of my own chat. Okay. Okay. Remember the task you completed 2 chapters ago. In that task, you wrote an if-else statement to check whether the number was even or odd. This time, let's construct another conditional construction so you can detect zeros, positive, and negative numbers. Okay. Build an if-else statement to check if the number num is positive, negative, or 0. Output the number num equals 0 if num equals 0. Place the placeholders within the print functions with their respective words. Right. Okay. If num 2 does not equal 0, then the number is negative. Wait, nope. I'm overcomplicating it. Positive or negative, not odd or even. 0. Again, why? An ad break is on the way. Since it's the top of the hour, let's take a little break. I'll open up Words so you guys have something to do. Okie dokie. I will see you guys in a minute. Okay. Exit. Good job, guys. What is coming through the microphone? No, one more. I already exited out, dude. It's gone forever. Yeah, we're learning a little bit of Python. I think I'm doing pretty okay so far. Okay, let's get back into it. A list is a data type that can store values or variables of different types, such as numbers, strings, tuples, etc. To create a list, write a list of comma-separated values/variables in square brackets. You can create a list with information about the USA, country name, area, and population. Is it supposed to include the brackets? Okay. Access list elements in the same way as you would access string elements. We can get both the area and population at once. These are the second and third elements of the list. Right. Remember, the boundary itself is not included. You should set a boundary +1 to the right of the colon, right? So we need to use 1 to 3 to slice the list. Right. Okay. Okay. Yes, I understand. Length returns the length of list T. List 1 plus list 2. Concatenation. Both terms must be lists. returns n copies of the list T. Adds a single item at the end of list T. Okay, so this would be... So if it was US info, it would be US info dot append or US info dot extend. Copy returns a copy. Count returns the number of time X appears in list T. Right, okay. US info new. US info plus US info new. US info extend US info new. Right, so it's two different ways to do the same thing. Okay. You're given two lists, people and new people. Both contain names of people. Fantastic. Update the people list. Concatenate it with the new people list. Updated new people is people plus new people. Print people update. Update the people list with the data from new people by using one of the list methods. Oh my God. People. Fuck, what was this? It's not extend, right? Or is it? Oh shit. Oh my God. Store values are different types of lists, including lists inside lists. Unlike many programming languages, nested lists can have different lengths in Python. Let's consider another example. We have information about countries and their areas. Storing them in one list is not convenient. We could create a separate list for each country. Country's two-dimensional. USA, Canada, Germany. Print. Okay, so then it just writes them all out, right? Yeah. Each country has its own list within the larger list. If the list is two-dimensional, its elements are lists whose elements can be accessed by indexing them. Two-dimensional list, countries 2D consists of 3 elements, right? Each of which consists of 2 elements. So countries 2D1 will return the second element of the entire list. Countries 2D 1-0 will return the first element of the sublist. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. And now I have to do it. Okay, you've been given the list people, which contains sublists within the names and ages of 5 people shown below. Print the information, the entire sublist, about the 4th person. It's remembering the words, isn't it? That's honestly the hardest part so far. It's remembering the right words. Print people. When it's... Elements are different from an index. Right, so I would say 5. If I want... Oh, the 4th person, though. 4. So I would say 4, not 5, right? You are supposed to still start at 0. Okay. Okay. 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we're going to print off everything about John. Then print the name of the first person. So people, 0, 0. And then the age of the fifth person. Print people, 4, 2. No, print people 4, 2 is wrong. For 1. Okay. A tuple is another data type that can contain multiple values and variables separated by commas. At first glance, you might not see much of a difference from lists. Lists are mutable and tuples are not. In a previous chapter, you updated a list using special methods like extend and append. However, these methods are not available for tuples. Tuples are faster and consume less memory compared to lists. Okay. Okay. Let's take a look at the main tuple methods. Length returns the length of the tuple. Returns n copies of the tuple. Returns the number of times x appears. Have they explained how to tell at a glance? Because, like, looking at this at a glance, I wouldn't be able to tell if this is a tuple or a list. And I don't think it's explained how to establish something as a tuple or a list. Oh, it's a square versus a parentheses. Okay. So if it's in parentheses, it's a tuple. I see. Okay. Okay. So you can't affect the tuple. I can't do anything different to it, but I can add two tuples together, just like a list. Update the tuple people with additional information stored in new people. Okay. Consider the country's data separated into tuples. The indexing remains the same as for nested lists. Okay. So it operates exactly the same. The only difference is you can't do anything to a tuple. But you could still pull information with exactly the same commands. Okay. Okay. You're given the tuple people. Great. Print information about Peter. Just realized I have a meeting at 4 o'clock, so I'll have to go in 30 minutes. But we're doing 2 streams tomorrow. No, we're not. We're doing 2 streams on Friday. Because we're getting sponsored to play Blasphemous 2 on Friday. Yes, and also I'm in Deadbeats, but like on this channel. Okay. Information about Peter. Print. People. But not brackets. Correct. 2. Oh, just 2. The whole shebang. Print. Fuck. People. You do use brackets? We still use brackets. We're still in the bracket trenches. Okay. How tall is John? 0, 1, 2, 3. Two. People. 0, 1. Your code returns nothing. What? But when I ran it, it did. When I run it, it returns something. Okay. I think it bugged too. Throughout the previous chapters, we've learned about data structures that can be indexed by numbers or a range of numbers. The next data structure we're going to learn about can be indexed by a key. The data type is called a dictionary. In dictionaries, values are represented as key value pairs. Values are represented as key value pairs. Let's take note of the aspects of a dictionary's keys. Use any immutable type as a dictionary's key. Tuples can only be used as keys if they consist of strings, numbers, or tuples. Keys are not repeated in the same dictionary. To create a dictionary in Python, put the key value pairs between curly brackets. We can represent the country's data as a dictionary. The keys in the dictionary will be the country's names, and respective values, area, and population will be stored as tuples. Oh. Okay. Looks good. High-fiving itself a little bit there. How do you access a specific element in a dictionary? As mentioned above, you can refer to the dictionary element by key, which is a string in our case. Don't forget to use quotation marks. The key must be put between square brackets, just like the index of a list or a tuple. Okay. Create dictionary. Curly brackets. And then the name. Followed by the list or tuple. Okay. Okay. You are given the dictionary people. Contains data in the following format: name, age, height. Your tasks. Fill in the blanks to add information about Peter. What's the difference between Oh my god, I can't remember the name of these. Quotation marks and these. What the fuck is wrong with me? I can't remember what those are called. Peter 29 175 apostrophe. They're the same. They're the same thing in Python. Okay. Print information about Alex. Print people Alex? Okay. Differ from less than tuples, so do their methods. Length returns the length of the dictionary. Returns a copy of the dictionary. Returns all pairs in the dictionary. Returns all keys. Returns all values. How do you add new data? Unlike lists or tuples, neither append or extend methods nor concatenation works, since dictionaries store data in pairs. We add new data by keys. So the value E to the key K. If key K is in existing keys, then the value will be rewritten. Oh, okay. So you're not, by doing this, you're not overwriting it. You're just adding new information. You're like, all of these things, they were certainly countries. Oh, by the way, this is also a country. And also this is a country. Right, but this situation right here is not overwriting it. Okay. Update the dictionary. Ask me later. Update the dictionary people. I'm liking this course though. Update the dictionary people with the following information. John and Michelle. Okay. Often you need your code to iterate while a particular condition holds. For example, in real life, we don't exit the metro train until we reach our station. If we need station B, we skip station A, station C, and so on until we reach station B. In Python, you can use a while loop to create something like this. We can print all the numbers up to 10. Okay, I equals 1. While I is less than 10, print I, and then it's giving you a space, I guess. print I and then space. And then add 1. I guess that's what it's telling it to do. Each call to the print function displays the results in a new line. We use the end parameter so that the results of calling the print function multiple times are separated by a blank space. We'll use this trick in this section. Okay. Is value of the variable less than 10? Yes. Start the loop. Print I and then a space. Minus the printing number? Oh, it's just telling you. Okay. It's telling you what's happening. Print I and then a space. That's printing the number. And then I will equal I plus 1. So increase the value by 1. Is the value still less than 10? Then restart the loop. Right. Might notice we use I equals I plus 1 instead of the loop. Inside of the loop. If we didn't specify that, our loop would be infinite. Every time it checks the condition, it evaluates 1, which is true. Be careful your code execution doesn't become infinite. Sweats. Sometimes we may not know when to stop the loop execution. In this case, we can create an infinite loop and set the stopping point within the loop body. To create an infinite loop, use the syntax while true. To stop the loop execution, use the keyword break. If you need to skip the rest of the code within the loop body and start again, use the keyword continue. For instance, assume that we have the number 3 and we want to reach the number 6 by adding 2 and subtracting 1. We can use an infinite loop to do this. A is 3. While all of this thing is true, I guess, if A is equal to 6, print number 6 reached. Break the loop. Else, if A is less than 6, A equals A plus 2. So if it's not 6, add 2. Otherwise, minus 1. Okay. Adding 2, reached 5. Adding 2, reached 7. Subtracting 1, reached 6. Number 6 reached. The loop above is visualized like this. If A is equal to 6, print number A reached. Is A less than 6? Add 2 reached. If it's greater than 6, subtract 1. If we don't include break in the first if statement, we get an infinite loop. 6 is not satisfying any other condition but the first one. In that case, it will print number 6 reached an infinite number of times. Okay, I think I see. Without the break keyword, all the actions will lead to a loop. Okay. Create a variable called I. Assign it 1. Done. Initialize a while loop that iterates over the numbers from 1 to 9. Within the loop body, perform the following operations. Output the square of the value of 1. Increase the value of I by 1. Initialize a while loop that iterates over the numbers from 1 to 9. I don't understand what it wants though. Output the square of the value of I. I don't understand this first part though. Initialize a while loop that iterates over the numbers from 1 to 9. What is it asking me? I don't think you guys are understanding what's confusing about this to me. I understand what a while I understand what this is. It's saying bail out at 10. It means run the loop until it hits 9. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So while I is less than 10. People keep telling me I don't need parentheses, but it helps me. Okay, while I is less than 10. Print I'm trying to remember how to do squares. Is it this? No. It is the double. Oh my god. Okay. Chat kept putting 2 asterisk, or not just 1 asterisk, and I was like, wait a minute. But I guess either way it works because it's just a 2, isn't it? Okay. Wait, but if it's... Oh my god. What is math? And then I say break, right? But it's not giving me a place to put break. Aren't I supposed to tell it to stop? Aren't I supposed to be like, not, you don't need a break for this? Okay. And here we are. I equals 1. Well, 1 is less than 10. Well, I is less than 10. Print I 2. Increase the value of I by 1. It's not I equals I plus 1. I equals. Didn't I do 2 equals? Did I not? Oops. You had 2, but you just need 1? Why? Okay. Because this isn't a math problem. But it is, though. We're just we're changing what I is, so it's different. Okay. Did you increment variable I by 1 within the while loop? That's what it's asking me. Did you increment variable 1 by I? What? Variable I by 1. Oops. Here. This is what it says. Just remove the brackets. But the brackets shouldn't matter, should they? I think the test program just doesn't like it. Okay. But it's still giving the same numbers. How silly. Next. If you need to iterate over a certain list of values, use the for loop. Oh my gosh, it's almost 4 already. My solution worked, but it was not validated by the software, someone said in the comments on the side. Girl, same. If you need to iterate over a certain list of values, you can use the for loop. This loop doesn't require a predefined counter variable. It uses an iterator variable, which shouldn't be predefined. For loops in Python can iterate over sequence types: a list, a tuple, a string, or a dictionary. It will iterate over each letter element of a string because it put a space in between each letter. Is that what it's saying? If you iterate over a list, it will iterate over its elements. For the elements in values. For loop doesn't require a predefined. Okay. Okay, so this is saying for every index in the word codefinity, put a space. So after each index, it's like imposing a space there. And then this one is saying for every element in values, put a space. So after each full element, it puts a space. Correct? You've been given a list called people. Okay, this will be the last thing we do. Last thing we do, and then I've got to wrap up. Okay, you've been given a list called people. Cracks knuckles. Using a for loop, you need to extract and print each item in the list. Each item. So for L in people, Print the element and then end it with a space. Nice. Okay, no, we're not doing the next one. We're not doing the next one. No. It's fun. It is fun. I think if you have something that's willing to like handhold you a little bit. You did good. Thanks. Lists and loops are 70% of programming. Wholesome Pythoning. Yeah, I like it. It might be more Pythonic to say for person in people, but it doesn't really matter. But how does it know what you're asking for? Unless it's been established that like each thing is person. It doesn't. Neat. It's defining the variable as you use it. Right, but in the bit before is explaining that you can either instruct it to focus on an index or you can tell it to focus on an element. So if I'm defining the name of a thing, how does it know if I'm saying to grab an index or an element? It's always an element. Oh, syntax for in is special. Okay. Okay. Do you think you would get the same engagement with the subject if you were being taught in a classroom environment? I don't know. If it was like, what I like about this sort of a thing is it's constantly hands-on, right? I'm going at my own pace. It's frequently giving me like either what do you think this says, or here, type a thing out, check if it works, right? I'm constantly having to like do something. The sorts of classes that I always did bad in were lecture classes. I don't know if coding classes are ever purely lecture, you know? But maybe they are. Maybe it depends on the teacher. Sometimes they are and it's terrible. Nice. Okay. How useful do you think it was to have a few hundred tutors helping alongside? I think it was helpful. And I think you guys... I think there was a general, like, goofy vibe of... Uh-oh. Like, coders really love to code, so, you know, you might get frustrated with chat. I never felt frustrated with chat. I felt very, like... I feel like everybody was really willing to let me try and do a thing, you know? One sec. Okay. Oh yeah, I mean, I can link to the website. It's called Codefinity. You can either pay $1 per day, or they have like 3 months at a time or a year at a time, which I wasn't gonna do because what if it sucked? But yeah, at least for the first day, I feel like we plowed through a lot of stuff for $1, you know? Raid Leader is open, by the way, in case anybody would like to grab that while I'm reading the feed off. I'm gonna have to just sort of read this and then skedaddle. Sorry, I know that this is a shorter stream than we had expected. I totally forgot that I had this meeting. Unless, wait. Yes. Yes. Okay. Bobby the Dragon, thank you for the 31. Beelzebolt for the 6. Toasted Nom for the 39. Money Fish for the 25. Snarf Dougal for the 26. Store Scarf for the 35. Dino Dax for the 51. Shadow of the Potato for the 44. Sad Old Guy for the 62. Diddy Done Did It for the 57. Vuko, welcome to the Cat Gang. Thank you so much for subscribing. Jazz Jackrabbit, thank you for the 86. Krokzik for subscribing. Welcome to the Cat Gang. Thank you so much. Killer Wombat for the 1 year. Happy anniversary. Thank you very much for the support and the love. And Woody for the 111 months. How often do you think you'll do code streams? I don't know. I generally would like to do a study hall stream every week. But if you guys are really enjoying the coding adventure, we could definitely try to make sure that happens for a little bit while we're learning it. Okie doke. Let's pause that. I will find someone. Oh my gosh, Play in the Mud. Play in the Mud hasn't been streaming while I've been streaming in a very long time. Go say hi. They do throwing and glazing and just general pottery stuff, and they're lovely. I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow we've got a normal stream. We're gonna be doing more Shadow Gambit and Deadbeats. All right, cool. Thanks, guys. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.